This was crazy.
How should I know? It's not my job.
It's my job!
With the world on the verge of a serious catastrophe, a group of scientists and engineers decides to construct an underground city called Ember. After the city is constructed, the head builder meets up with his colleagues in a secret room and shows them a small metal box, which will contain a message for the citizens of Ember and a special chip. He then instructs a junior colleague to time the box to be opened in 200 years. As he says, they have to keep the citizens in Ember for 200 years. Another colleague asks if that's not too long. The head builder says they can only hope it's not, because no one can tell what could happen in the future. He adds that future generations will grow up with no knowledge of a world outside. After this, he locks the box and hands it over to the first mayor of Ember, who leaves immediately. For years, the box was passed from one mayor to another until the 7th mayor suddenly died. This left the box unguarded, and it was eventually placed in a closet where it opened automatically after the timer on it elapsed.
I don't feel very lucky lately.
Many years later, Ember is now facing several challenges, including a shortage of supplies for its citizens. Meanwhile, a boy named Dune gets ready for his assignment day, which is when teenagers are assigned jobs for adulthood. Dune's dad, an inventor named Loris, looks excited and tells Dune to hurry up so he won't be late. Dune says he hopes he doesn't get assigned a useless job, but his dad reminds him that he has no control over what job he'll get. Almost immediately, the city's generator fails, and everywhere goes dark. Dune and Loris then count down the seconds before the generator comes on again. As it takes a few seconds, Dune complains that this is the 3rd time this week that the generator has gone off abruptly. He adds that the generator is Ember's only source of power, and he doesn't think they'll survive if it shuts down completely. Loris tells Dune to stop being dramatic, but he says he doesn't understand how his dad can't see that the city is falling apart. He adds that he'll do everything he can to get a job in the generator room, because he can't just sit back and do nothing while Ember collapses.
Sure there's a key.
Shortly after, he leaves the house and heads to the school hall for the assignment day ceremony. The current mayor, Cole, also arrives and congratulates the latest graduates. Elsewhere, a girl named Lena Mayfleet quickly runs toward the hall because she's already late for the ceremony. Luckily, she gets there while Cole is still giving a speech, and she sneaks in to stand with her mates. Shortly after, Cole finishes up with his speech and tells the kids to dip their hands into a bag to pick their assigned jobs. Luckily, a boy named Joss selects a card assigning him as an electrician, which means he'll get to work in the generator room. Cole congratulates Joss because it's a great job, but Dune looks disappointed. Lena also looks sad when she gets assigned to work in the pipeworks, and Dune eventually ends up being a messenger.
All right now. Cut your name in there.
After the ceremony, Dune begs Lena to swap jobs with him because he doesn't want to be a messenger. He says he prefers to work in the generator room, but that Joss didn't want to swap with anyone. Interestingly, Lena has always wanted to be a messenger, and she gladly swaps jobs with Dune. She then runs home and tells her neighbor, Mrs. Murdo, that she's now a messenger. Murdo looks happy about this, and Lena goes into her apartment to inform her granny and her sister, Poppy, about her new job. Elsewhere, Dune looks disappointed because he didn't get the job he wanted. Loris tries to cheer him up by giving him a device he just made, but Dune doesn't really seem interested in it. He then walks out of the house and sees an injured fly that fell in through the roof of the city. After helping the fly, Dune starts wondering how far it can go and if there's a world outside the city.
Let your sister get settled.
Elsewhere, Lena puts Poppy to sleep by playing a recording from their late parents' old answering machine. Even though Lena often plays it to put Poppy to sleep, she also seems curious about the last message her dad got from someone named Barrow, who said he was ready to work with Lena's dad because he has been thinking about what's best for his son. The next day, Lena begins her first day as a messenger, which involves delivering messages across the city. She arrives quite early, and her boss looks impressed. He also gives her a red red cape and tells her where to find her station. As she's about to head out, her boss stops her to give her some rules, but she says she already knows everything about being a messenger. Her boss looks happy and impressed, and he says she can leave. Elsewhere, Dune arrives at work and meets up with an elderly technician named Sul. Sul gives Dune his work clothes and all the other things he'll need for the job. After he finds a helmet that fits Dune's head, he tells Dune to write his name on it. Dune doesn't understand this, but Sul says it's to know when something happens to him. He adds that the last person who used the helmet drowned, and if the person hadn't written his name on it, no one would have known what happened to him.
It wasn't one room we were looking for.
Dune then writes his name on the helmet, and as he's about to ask Sul a question, he notices that the old man is already dozing off. Meanwhile, Lena gets her first message for the day and heads over to the greenhouse to deliver it to a lady named Clary, who is a family friend. Clary looks happy to see that Lena is now a messenger, and as they talk about Clary's message, they hear a strange man calling for help as he walks out of the dark parts of the city, which no one is allowed to enter. As the man talks about seeing something big that attacked him, some of the city's guards arrest him. Lena doesn't seem to get why anyone would risk getting arrested, even though all the citizens of Ember are aware that the dark and unknown parts of the city are off limits. Clary tells her not to think much about it, but she still looks confused as the man gets dragged away.
Thank you.
Suddenly, Lena sees a strange object that fell from the man's jacket, and she picks it up before leaving the area. Elsewhere, Dune joins Sul in trying to fix a broken pipe. Dune notices that the pipe is rusted, and he asks Sul where they can get a new one to replace it. Sul says they've not had new pipes since his second decade in Ember, and that they've been patching the old ones for as long as he can remember. Dune doesn't think this is sufficient, but Sul insists that patching the pipes up is the only thing they can do. Shortly after, Dune asks how Sul finds his way around the pipeworks. Sul says he has a map, and he takes Dune to the control room to show him a few things. There, Sul eventually falls asleep, and Dune tries to go into the generator room, but he notices that the door is locked since he still wants to look around. He steals Sul's map and leaves the control room.
Everything.
While walking around the pipeworks, Dune sees a strange corner that is not on the map. As he checks it out, he sees a secret door and tries to open it, but it turns out to be locked. After he leaves the corner, he comes across a hook dangling from the storeroom above the pipeworks. Dune climbs up and enters the room, only to see some canned food items inside. As he looks surprised, a man named Looper suddenly shows up and sends him out. Almost immediately, the generator fails, and the city goes dark again. Lena looks scared and quickly holds on to a nearby pillar. Surprisingly, the generator doesn't come on in just a few seconds, and as Lena sees Dune, she tells him that something isn't right. Dune agrees, and Lena tells him about the man she saw earlier. She also asks if Dune thinks there's a place outside Ember. Before Dune can respond, the lights come back on, and he tells Lena that he has to go back to the pipeworks. Lena then shows him the strange object she picked up earlier. She says it might be from an animal, and Dune mentions that it's likely from a beetle. He then asks if he can keep it, and Lena says he can.
That is a name for a messenger.
After this, Dune returns to the pipeworks and sees that the door to the generator room is now open. He immediately heads inside and sees a part of the generator on fire while the workers try to put it out. This leaves him shocked, and he heads back outside. Elsewhere, Lena arrives home and sees her granny looking restless. Lena asks what's wrong, and Granny says she's looking for something very important. She adds that her great-grandfather gave it to her. Before she can say anything else, Lena interrupts her and says she wants to check up on Poppy. Just then, she enters the closet and sees Poppy chewing on some parts of the note inside the small metal box. Lena stops her and closes the box before heading back to the living room with it. Granny then sees the box and says it's what she was looking for. Lena asks what it is, but Granny says she doesn't remember anymore. Lena doesn't care much about the box, and she tells Granny that she's heading back to work.
They should have moved out of the way.
Meanwhile, Dune tries to ask Joss about the generator, but he says he doesn't want to talk about it. He adds that the generator is broken and it's hopeless trying to fix it. Shortly after, Looper goes to Lena's station and tells her to deliver a message to the mayor, saying his ship is in. Lena immediately heads to the mayor's office and meets his assistant, Barton, who offers to take her to see the mayor. On the way, Lena sees the portraits of the past mayors on the wall. She eventually stops near the 7th mayor's portrait and tells Barton that she's related to him. Barton looks surprised, but Lena says she still lives in the same place the 7th mayor lived. As she looks closer at the portraits, she notices that the 7th mayor and his predecessors are holding the small metal box.
Matter anyway. The generator won't last.
After this, Barton takes Lena into the office and tells Cole that she's a descendant of the 7th mayor. Cole doesn't care about this, and he jokes about Lena's surname. He also asks what she came for, and Lena says he has a message from Looper. Cole looks surprised and tells her to come closer so she can deliver the message secretly. Lena does just this, and Cole says she can go. Before she heads out, she asks about the boxes in the portraits, but Cole just tells her to leave since she's done delivering the message. As Lena heads back to meet Looper, she hears him telling someone that he's looking out for himself because everywhere will soon go black for good. Lena looks surprised and asks what he means, but he says he was talking about something else. He also asks if she has delivered the message, and as she says she has, he looks relieved. Elsewhere, Dune still seems bothered about the condition of the generator, but Loris seems optimistic that things will get better. Dune doesn't believe this, and he shows his dad the object Lena gave to him. He says it's from a beetle, but he just can't understand why it's bigger than normal. Loris doesn't think there's something special about it, and he tells Dune to stop bothering himself.
Hang on to her.
Meanwhile, Lena checks out the box and takes a closer look at the note. Even though some parts are missing because Poppy has torn or chewed on them, Lena is still able to figure out that the note contains a list of instructions. She also finds the special chip inside the box, and since she doesn't know what it means, she takes it to show her friend, Lizzie, who works as a warehouse clerk. Lizzie says she hasn't seen something like that before, and Lena heads back home, where Granny is being attended to by a nurse who comes in often to check up on her. When Granny sees Lena, she asks if they found the box. Lena says they did, and she asks what it is. The nurse then tells Lena not to ask Granny any questions because she needs to rest. As the nurse gets ready to leave, Lena asks if there's a drug that can help Granny get better. The nurse says she has run out of drugs, but that Lena can give Granny as much water as she'll drink. Lena then tells the nurse to check up on Poppy before she leaves.
Come on, open it up.
While the nurse is doing this, she sees a part of the note that Poppy chewed on. Even though the nurse throws it away, Lena picks it up and tries to put it together with the other parts. Almost immediately, the generator fails again, and Lena tells Poppy to stand still so she won't hurt herself walking in the dark. As they then head to Granny's room, the light comes back on, and they see that Granny is dead. This makes the kids sad, and Murdo eventually offers to take them in. After they get settled, they have dinner with Murdo, who looks excited about an upcoming ceremony called the Day of Singing. She says it will lift everyone's spirits, but Lena doesn't think there's anything to celebrate because the frequent blackouts are concerning. Murdo then mentions that she believes help is coming. Lena doesn't understand this, but Murdo says the city's builders will definitely come over to show them how to fix things. Almost immediately, Lena realizes that the instructions in the box might have come from the builders. After she glues the torn parts together, she heads out of the house to show Dune.
Drowned.
As Dune looks at it, he says that the letters remind him of something he has seen before. Lena doesn't understand this, but he tells her to follow him. He then takes her to the school hall and picks a lock to reveal a book which the builders left for the people of Ember. He says he learned about it in history class, but Lena looks worried because the book can only be opened by the mayor. Dune doesn't care about this, and as he opens the book, he confirms that the words inside are in the same font as the instructions. Almost immediately, the school guard hears a sound inside the hall, and as he decides to check it out, the kids quickly escape. When they get to Lena's old house, Dune checks the note again and sees a word that looks like exit.
Flooded. And
As he wonders if there's a way out of Ember, he tells Lena about the secret door he saw in the pipeworks. Lena then follows him there, but before he can pick the lock, they hear some footsteps coming toward the corner. Just as Looper and his colleague nearly reach there, they see something that scares them. As they run away, Dune and Lena see a huge moth that moves around slowly. Dune and Lena are shocked by this, but as they try to find the moth, it suddenly attacks them. Lena is able to climb up to the storeroom, but the moth still follows her. Before it can harm her, Dune gets its attention and traps it temporarily. Following this, he and Lena escape from the storeroom and return to the pipeworks. There, Dune complains about how the storeroom was empty. Lena also looks concerned, and they start wondering if the end is near for the people in Ember. Just then, Lena sees her surname written on Dune's helmet. She asks about this, and Dune says it's the name of someone who drowned while wearing it. Lena says it must have been her dad, and she heads to the greenhouse to ask Clary about it.
I got it from my boyfriend.
When she gets there, she asks if her dad really drowned, because that's not what she was told. Clary then mentions that Lena's dad actually drowned while looking for a way out of Ember. She adds that Lena's dad wanted to find a way out because he believed things would eventually fall apart in Ember and everyone would die. Lena looks surprised by this, but Clary takes her into a secret room to show her the machine that her dad tried to use to create a tunnel to find the source of Ember's river. Lena then says she's considering giving the mayor the box she found, and Clary says it's the right thing to do because trying to leave Ember is illegal. After Lena leaves the greenhouse, she sees some citizens gathered in front of the mayor's office while Cole announces that he wants to find a permanent solution to the blackouts. He adds that he's setting up a task force to investigate the blackouts, and he wants volunteers.
Why would I do that?
Lena eventually walks away, and as she tries to figure out the missing parts of the instructions, she sees Lizzie carrying some canned food items. Lizzie quickly tries to run away, but Lena stops her. Lizzie eventually bumps into some kids, and the canned food items fall to the ground. Lena then sees that Lizzie has a can of pineapple, and she looks shocked because no one has had pineapples since her granny was a little girl. Lena asks where Lizzie got the items, and she says her boyfriend gave them to her. As Lena asks who he is, Looper walks toward them, and Lizzie says he's the one. Lena looks shocked by this, and she immediately heads over to tell Dune that she thinks Looper and the mayor are hiding something in the secret room. Following this, they head to the room, and Dune picks the lock. When they enter the room, they see that it's filled with canned food items, which the mayor has been hoarding for his personal use.
One room.
Surprisingly, the mayor is also sleeping inside the room, and the kids leave before he wakes up. When they return to Murdo's house, they lament about how the mayor always pretends to be a good man. Lena soon puts Poppy to bed and tells Dune to play the answering machine's recording. As Dune listens to it, he hears the name Barrow and looks shocked. He then storms out of the room, and Lena tells him not to forget to meet her at the greenhouse later. Murdo doesn't understand what's going on, but she just asks if Lena has been preparing for the upcoming singing ceremony. Lena says she has, and Murdo looks pleased. Meanwhile, Dune arrives home and confronts his dad about the recording. Interestingly, Loris's nickname is Barrow, and Dune believes he tried to escape with Lena's dad. Loris denies this, but Dune insists that he wants the truth.
Wait!
He adds that there's a way out of Ember, but Loris says that's what got Lena's dad killed. Dune then talks about the instructions from the builders, and Loris seems interested in this. Elsewhere, Lena goes to the mayor's office to report Cole to Barton. Unfortunately, she's unaware that Barton is loyal to the mayor, and he takes her to meet Cole, who denies the allegations. Lena says she and Dune saw Cole in the secret room, but as he still looks unbothered, she notices that he has another chip similar to the one in the box. Suddenly, Cole spots the box in her hand and recognizes it as the same one in the old portraits. He also remembers that Lena is related to the 7th mayor, and he tells her to give him the box. As Lena refuses to do this, Cole tells Barton and one of his guards to snatch it from her. Before they can do this, the generator fails, and Lena steals Cole's chip and escapes through the window. Cole says he wants her arrested, and Barton leads the guards to find her. They also head to Dune's house to look for him.
Not exactly.
Luckily, Loris stalls the guards and gives Dune enough time to escape before they can find him. Shortly after, Barton heads to Murdo's house to ask for Lena. Murdo says she's not at home, but Barton believes she's lying. Murdo insists that she's not, and she says Lena was supposed to meet a friend at the greenhouse. Following this, Barton takes the guards to the greenhouse to search for the kids and question Clary. Clary denies knowing where to find Lena and Dune, but it turns out that they're actually hiding in her secret room. After Barton and the guards leave, Lena shows Dune the machine her dad tried to create a tunnel with. Dune says it looks like one of his dad's inventions, and he also mentions that Loris and Lena's dad wanted to leave together. Following this, Dune suggests using the machine to escape. Lena doesn't think it's safe, but Dune convinces her to join him. They then go through a tunnel and eventually reach the end.
It's blue.
Back in the city, Cole gets the citizens to start singing as part of the day of singing celebration. Meanwhile, Lena shows Dune the chip she took from Cole. As he looks at it, he puts it together with the other one and realizes that it's a key showing the symbol on the door of the generator room. He then tells Lena that they have to go there, but she says she wants to find Poppy first. Following this, they head back to the city center and secretly get Poppy to come with them. When they get to the control room in the pipeworks, Dune realizes that the door to the generator room is locked. Sul happens to be sleeping inside the control room, and they wake him up to ask for the key to the generator room. Sul says he has no idea where it is because it's not his job, and as Lena tries to find an alternative, she realizes that the symbol on the floor matches the one on the instruction sheet. She also figures out a pattern which shows that there's something hidden behind the lockers. After Dune pulls down one of them, he realizes that the lockers are actually boats. Even though the instructions aren't clear because of the missing parts, Lena and Dune figure out a way to automatically move the boats toward the generator room. This unlocks the door, and the boat goes into the water channel before getting crushed by a strong water wheel, blocking the exit.
A vital job.
As the kids continue following the instructions, they find a control room, which Dune uses the special key to unlock. In the control room, they try to get the water wheel to slow down, but as the controls develop a fault, it starts moving really fast. Sul immediately wakes up and tries to fix the water wheel before it causes a bigger problem. Dune sees this and immediately goes to tell Sul to get down from the water wheel because it's dangerous. Sul says it's his job, and Dune decides to help him. He also tells Sul that the city's exit is behind the water wheel, and he's leaving with Lena and Poppy. Sul asks where the exit leads, but Dune says they'll have to find out.
If he hadn't cut his name in there, we wouldn't have known who he was.
As the water wheel slows down, it causes a spark that affects the pipes and the lights in the city. Cole realizes that something is wrong, and he assumes that the city is about to collapse. He then runs out of his office and heads into the pipeworks. Meanwhile, the water wheel starts going down after it stops moving, and Sul tells Dune to leave with Poppy and Lena. Dune believes Sul can still join them, but the old technician says he'll stay back to continue pulling the water wheel down. Following this, Dune tells Lena and Poppy to enter a boat with him so they can leave. As they do this, Lena looks worried that the water wheel still isn't down, but a massive wave suddenly lifts the boat and pushes it through the exit. Meanwhile, Cole goes to the secret room to lock himself inside. Looper tries to follow Cole into the room, but the mayor pushes him away and locks the door. Before Cole settles in, the huge moth shows up inside the room and kills him.
What if there's an exit from Ember?
Elsewhere, the boat continues taking Dune, Lena, and Poppy through a massive water channel. The boat eventually stops near the base of a towering staircase, and the kids see a small signboard indicating that they're on the right path. They then climb the stairs until they reach a scattered room where the builders had their meeting many years ago. As they also leave the room, they look disappointed because everywhere is dark. After they rest for a while, the sun comes up, and they look excited as they witness a sunrise for the first time. They also see Ember through a hole in the ground, and Lena tries to call for anyone who can hear her. Dune says no one will hear her because Ember is too far down, and Lena suggests finding a way to send them a message. Following this, they drop down a rock with a note containing information on how to leave Ember. As they wonder if it will get to the right person, the rock lands in Ember and rolls next to Loris's feet. He then sees the rock, reads the letter, and looks amazed when he finds out that Dune made it out.
Fast. going fast.
Meanwhile, Dune, Lena, and Poppy start moving around the Earth to explore and see what they can find. When a catastrophic event threatens to wipe out all life on Earth, a group of scientists and engineers decide to preserve humanity by sending some survivors to an underground city called Ember. After more than 2 centuries, Ember slowly becomes uninhabitable, with the city on the verge of collapse. Luckily, a girl named Lena eventually finds instructions left by the builders to guide the citizens out of the city. Since the corrupt mayor is only concerned about his own survival, Lena teams up with Dune to reach the surface and find a new home for everyone.